It is 9 o'clock. I'm going to ask if we stand for invocation and pledge of allegiance, and I'm going to ask Pastor Les McIntosh from Impact Group to give us the invocation this morning.
With every head bowed, dear Heavenly Gracious Father, we come to you being our King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and we ask that your hand of provision, your hand of power, your hand of prudence begin to govern this place today. Touch everybody that is assembled here today, from the commissioners to all of the citizens. Allow us, oh God, to come together and to commune, but God, allow your word to come forth here today. Touch us that we may be the people you have called us to be, walking in oneness and allowing your justice to be heard and to be seen and to be exemplified. Touch us, God, and we will give your name all of the praise and all of the glory and all of the honor for what you shall do in this county that will bring upon peace, prosperity, and a place of provision. This we ask in my Savior, Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. With that, I'll call our meeting to order. And first on the agenda is approval of the minutes of February the 10th, 2026.
Motion to approve.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 4-0. Thank you very much. Next up is Commissioners' reports and comments. And Commissioner Wagner, you want to go first?
Sure. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. So start off by thanking Commissioner Harvey for his service to our county and his service in the United States as a military, retired military. I wish him the best in his future endeavors, and I wish the Republican Central Committee their best in replacing Commissioner Harvey. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Leatherman?
Thank you, John. Additionally, I would like to make a shout out this morning to Commissioner Harvey and for his service to the county and to our country. Thank you, Derek. Well done. Second item I've got this morning, I got a shout out to the Washington County Regional Airport under the direction of Neil Doran. All that they do to maintain that facility, airfield, terminal, T-hangars, it relentlessly, day in, day out, they provide a wonderful service to our thousands of passengers that pass through that airport, and providing fire protection and all of the services that are necessary to keep our passengers safe. And so a shout out to them, a very sincere thank you. Second item I've got this morning, on the 14th of this month, Washington County Parks and Recreation, City of Hagerstown, and the Washington County Free Clinic are sponsoring the St. Patrick's Day Run Fest downtown Hagerstown. And they've got a 1-mile event, a 5K event, and an 8K event. 25 West Church Street is home plate for that event. I plan on attending and participating. We also need volunteers for the event, so if anyone's interested, you can check us out online. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Klein?
Good morning, everyone. Also want to congratulate Deputy First Class Jeffrey Webb. Seems he was named the 2025 Detention Division Deputy of the Year for Washington County, so congratulations to Deputy First Class Jeffrey Webb. Also want to thank our Recs Department for once again putting on a successful superhero party at HCC at the Arc. Many of our deputies and volunteers were dressed there as heroes, but it was well attended with the parents and kids, and all seemed to have a good time. I also attended the Business Awards last week, sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce. I want to thank, special note, thanks to all the nominees and the winners. And I too would like to thank former Commissioner Derek Harvey for his service to our country and to the county. That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Likewise, for me, I attended the Chamber Awards ceremony.
It was kind of like cutting you off during your comment, Commissioner John Barr. Imagine
Mr. Ray,
comment, but not allowing public
Mr. Ray, you're out of order. This is not,
You
Deputy.
You can just do whatever you will. Go ahead, throw
Speak the words. Speak the
Unless
words.
he gives me a lawful order to leave, I ain't leaving. We
You need to speak the
people
words,
throw
John.
down against
Say,
you guys.
say the words.
Say the words.
That lawful order?
Mr. Ray, you need to leave now.
I'm leaving, but fuck you. How about that? You're an old fool, you're decrepit, you shouldn't be running.
Mr. Porter, you'll be next. One more outburst.
Here's your outburst. One more. Do something.
As I was saying, the business awards last week were a very highlight of this community, what people have given of themselves to serve others. Many of the participants and the awardees are very philanthropic and give back not only professionally, but personally to this community. And the Legacy Award went to none other than our homegrown hero is Don Bowman and his family for what they have tremendously given over the last 75, 80 years back to this community. The man started in high school with one truck, and he's a true, genuine, hardworking, honest, and just an incredible individual. And we just can't say thank you enough to Don Bowman and his entire family. Also attended, showing leadership here this morning to the state of the city. I know Commissioner Leatherman and I and our county administrator, Michelle Gordon, we attended the state of the city. We did have to pull out quickly in a hurry to get back to this meeting, but we want to just wish the city of Hagerstown not only a great day, but a great year in all their successes and all their plans and endeavors throughout the city of Hagerstown. I want to remind everyone that nearly 60,000 residents of Hagerstown are part of Washington County, and likewise Washington County is part of the city. And we need to work together. We need to show unity. We need to show cooperation, and they are citizens and constituents of each one of us. There's a number of other things, but I just won't belabor things here this morning. If there's no other comments from commissioners' reports. I also would like to thank Commissioner Harvey for his years of service both here and nationally, and wish him the best in all his future endeavors, and the best to him and his family as he moves forward. So with that, we'll move right into staff comments, and Michelle Gordon.
Thank you. We did have an evening meeting last week with the town of Funkstown. I'd like to congratulate Mayor Crampton. He has over 40 years of public service. That was his last official meeting. I'd like to thank Commissioner Harvey for his service to the county and service to our country over the last 3+ years, and I wish him well in his future endeavors. As Commissioner Barr mentioned, I did attend the state of the state of the city this morning over at the Maryland Theater, where they had a question and answer period with citizens. And the last thing I'd like to do would be to recap information related to the federal government's purchase of a warehouse on Wright Road in Williamsport, Maryland. Washington County government was not involved in the site selection process and was not consulted by the federal government or the private entity involved in the sales transaction of an existing structure. This is now a property owned by the federal government. As such, Washington County government has no jurisdiction, and we are not the governing body that will be overseeing this project. Many of the suggestions being made by non-county residents and some county residents refer to recent actions taken by Howard County government. That comparison is not the same as the situation as we have here in Washington County. Howard County government took a potentially adverse action against a private company. In Washington County, the property in question is owned by the federal government, and that is simply not the case here. Any action taken by Washington County would require a legal opinion and interpretation of the potential liability of all parties involved, both for the county and personally for individuals taking potentially adverse actions against another organization. Additionally, a legal opinion and interpretation would be needed regarding the hierarchy and interactions between local, state, and federal government authority and jurisdiction, all of which we are not able to comment on at this time. A resolution was adopted by the Board of County Commissioners on February the 10th of 2026. The resolution expresses general support for the Department of Homeland Security, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and local law enforcement agencies in their roles related to public safety and encourages cooperation across all levels of government. Washington County has not been provided with project information from the federal government for their property on Wright Road, and Washington County is not going to speculate on future use or development of the site in Williamsport, Maryland. Comments may be sent to contact commissioners at washco-md.net or mailed to the Board of County Commissioners at Washington County, Maryland, 100 West Washington Street, Suite 1101, Hagerstown, Maryland, 21740. Alternatively, you may call each commissioner. Their phone numbers are available on the county's website. Beyond the statement released on January the 28th, 2026, and the resolution in support of law enforcement and public safety that was approved on February the 10th, 2026, Washington County government has no additional information at this time. Thank you. That's everything that I have.
I sent you an email last week. You responded to it. You've yet to continue.
Sir, this is not an interactive, this is,
When is the interactive session? Mr.
the
Hall?
lady just,
When is the interactive session?
sir, I'm going to ask you to stop
Is this a
or
public forum?
leave.
When is the public forum?
It was just read, it was just presented to you.
When is the public forum?
Nope,
When
sir,
is the interactive session?
Mr. Palladino, yep.
Which one is it? Do we have a public session
He needs to-
on this or not? I don't know why you're so scared.
Okay, Mr. Porter, I've had it. As the presiding officer, you need to go also.
I haven't done anything.
You just ran your mouth.
I was talking to my camera. You're like 100 yards away.
You're disrupting the meeting, officer. Mr. Porter needs to
You were
go.
talking to me, I responded.
Mr. Porter, I'm going to ask you one more time. Do it. Okay. Okay, to be clear, Mr. Porter, you're being removed from this meeting for disruptive behavior and comments. With that, I'm going to move forward with, under tab number 1, General George Washington 250th Anniversary Memorial Statue, Al Martin, Tom Reiford, and Toby Mendez. Thank you, gentlemen.
Good morning, Commissioners, and good morning also, Michelle Gordon. I'd like to, first of all, introduce myself. My name is Tom Reiford. I'm on the committee for the George Washington Memorial, which the Washington County had approved several months ago, and we're continuing to move forward. And I'd like to thank the Board of County Commissioners for approving this project, which will be a historic addition of public art out in front of the county courthouse across the street. Also like to show our committee's appreciation for assistance with the timing of the project, because we're moving forward to be able to get it in place, hopefully in time for the September 6th birthday of Washington County, which will be the 250th birthday of this county's formation. The timing is critical, and we want you to know that we certainly really thank the county for helping us out with the timing of the funding for this to be able to happen. The fundraising continues, and including the state bond bill money that has been supported by the Washington County delegation, and we certainly appreciate the county's support to be able to have this project move forward. And that includes the support of Michelle Gordon and also Andrew, who is here, and I thank his office for being able to help us move forward in a timely manner.
I just want to clarify that the funds being approved today are forward funding for the statute to ensure that we meet the time frame needed in order to get the project completed by September. If the bond bill is approved, and when the bond bill is approved, they will reimburse the county for those funds.
Thank you.
Motion to support it. There's no need for more discussion. It's a great project.
Second.
A motion and a second for support. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 4-0. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Toby.
Thank you, Commissioners.
For all your hard work. Okay, next up under tab 2 is the proclamation for purchasing month.
Good morning, Brandy Kentner, Director of Purchasing. Just quickly, want to make a little brief statement about purchasing month. March is purchasing month, and for as long as I've been at the county, which is going on 23 years, we've taken March and celebrated purchasing month and come in and been recognized by the commissioners. The National Procurement Month, March, was designed by the Institute for Public Procurement and other organizations to increase awareness of the vital role public procurement professionals play in government and business. It highlights their contributions to efficiency, transparency, and economic impact while promoting professional development and networking. So, like I said, this time every year we do celebrate the profession, and I personally would like to thank my staff for the job that they do every day. Without that teamwork that goes on, we couldn't process the amount of work that goes through our office. So I do thank them every single day.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.
Thanks for all you and your staff do, keeping us in line and making quality purchases and making sure that it abides by all the guidelines and procedures set forth. So thank you very much. We do have a proclamation. You want to read it?
You go ahead, John. You make that. Thank you, Alan.
Proclamation, Purchasing Month, March 2026, whereas the purchasing and materials management profession has a significant role in the quality, efficiency, and profitability of business and government throughout Washington County and the state of Maryland. Whereas in addition to purchasing of goods and services, the purchasing and materials management professionals engage in or have direct responsibility for functions such as executing, implementing, and administering contracts, developing forecast and procurement strategies, supervising and or monitoring the flow and storage of materials, and developing working relationship with suppliers and other departments within the organization. Whereas purchasing professionals make important contributions to ensure the efficient use of taxpayer dollars by providing cost-effective service while maintaining the highest standards. Now, therefore, we, the Board of County Commissioners, Washington County, Maryland, hereby proclaim the month of March 2026 as Purchasing Month. We ask the citizens of Washington County to join us in celebrating the role of the public procurement profession and acknowledge an elite group of professionals that make a difference in governmental efficiency and effectiveness. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Whoop, I should let you.
I've been running into more than that.
Coffee and donuts.
Thank you so much.
Okay, everyone in? 3, 2,
Okay, next item under tab 3 is Emergency Expedited Sole Source
here?
PUR 1804
probably-
1 Aircraft Rescue Firefighting Unit.
Good morning, Brandy Kentner, Director of Purchasing.
Andrew Usherman, Director of Public Works.
The first recommendation I have for you this morning is Procurement PUR 1804. Move to authorize the expenditure for up to $800,000 for repairs to Unit 35-2 and to purchase new one used 2014 Oshkosh Striker aircraft rescue and firefighting engine from Texas Fire Trucks out of Cedar Park, Texas. This to ensure the compliance of this purchase shall be contingent upon the engine passing inspection performed by Lance Fire Truck out of Robinson, Texas, a certified professional third-party fire truck mechanic. This acquisition of this highly specialized vehicle will allow the Hagerstown Regional Airport to maintain a third or reserve firefighting vehicle in order to respond promptly and effectively to emergency incidents and accidents that may occur at the airport as well as within Washington County. These vehicles are considered critical assets, providing unique capabilities necessary to ensure public safety, the protection of life, property, and the environment at the airport as well as within Washington County. The acquisition of this unit will allow the Airport Fire Department to maintain Federal Aviation Administration and Defense Contract Management Agency regulatory compliance, which dictate that no less than 2 aircraft rescue firefighting units meeting prescribed specifications are in service at all times, and additionally have the ability to rotate apparatus for routine and necessary periodic service maintenance and repair. Thus, a recommendation is made today to purchase this unit that will be inspected by a third party. The airport is the only fire department in the county with large-scale firefighting foam capabilities. The airport will be equipped to respond to interstate automobile fires, fires in industrial factories, fuel storage deposits, rail car fires, and any other fires involving large-scale flammable liquids in Washington County or at the airport. Funding has been adjusted and is available in the capital improvement budget EQP 031 for this purchase.
Andrew, just to summarize real quick, is it not true that we have also a contractual duty to have the proper equipment for contracts with the Army in Sierra Nevada, correct?
Correct. So that's a lot of what's driving this is the contract and the activity at the airport is creating the demand for use of both of these vehicles, and so it makes it challenging, as stated, to do any sort of maintenance or take one out of service to do the repairs.
And it's also true, I think, that we have to have so many gallons available.
Correct. So that's also driven by, right now, by SNC's activity is the foam capability, and Danny, our fire chief, is here now as well, can provide more information on that if you desire, but essentially this is demand driven. We also have that contractual arrangement with them to bill for some of these services, and again, as was stated, the airport's the only station that has the foam capabilities, so being able to have an extra piece of equipment and apparatus allows some flexibility for mutual aid and response off airport property.
And we get reimbursed for that, for services.
Yes, depending on the time and standby, it's a little more complicated, but yes.
I get it.
I also want to point out that this is being purchased by the airport fund, which is an enterprise fund. It's not being paid for with tax-supported dollars.
I also have a little bit of conversation. Chief and I spoke yesterday, was it? And this unit is incredibly large. It's a very heavy truck. How much does it weigh? Do we know?
About 100,000 pounds.
So 100,000 pounds. Now, to give a little backstory, our interstate bridges for emergency vehicles are rated, I believe, Chief, at 86,000 pounds.
Under DOT regulation, yes, sir.
So it poses a bit of a problem when we respond to interstate incidents, and I can assure you that this unit or a similar unit will respond to interstate emergencies, because we get an 8,000-gallon tanker rolled on its side with flammable liquid spilled and a portion of it on fire. This is what will put it out. So my first blush was, and the chief and I had this conversation with regards to response routes that were safe, that we were able to arrive safely. Additionally, my thought is massive amount of water, 4,500 gallons of water, 650 gallons of foam.
Yes, sir.
And I actually do have a background in airport firefighting, and what puts the fire out is foam. Everything else is just a conversation. Massive amounts of foam put the fire out. I have personally witnessed large fires, flammable liquid fires, that were attempted to be extinguished by the local fire department with structural firefighting gear, and it's just not sufficient flow. What ultimately puts it out is a crash truck like this. So although it's large, a single operator can operate this unit. Is that correct, Chief?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay, and so that is a beauty of this. This unit arrives on the scene of an incident at our airport, and this single operator, if that is the case, can flow a massive amount of water and foam onto the incident. And so I'm going to vote in favor of this. It is an incredibly complex piece of equipment. It has a lot of bells and whistles on it. It's 8-wheel drive, all-wheel steering, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
It is a big piece of equipment. And I do think that I do think that you've come up with a good price. What I've looked around, I think you've found a deal for us. If we discover, and I'm just speaking out loud, if we discover that this is a piece of equipment that perhaps is more than we bargained for, we always have the option in the future of selling it and purchasing a different unit. But my suspicion is that it's going to serve us, and it's going to serve us well. And so thank you to purchasing. Thank you, Chief, for searching for this piece of equipment for us. I know time's of the essence. I'm in support of it.
Is that a motion?
Yes, motion to approve.
Good. We have a motion and a second for support as presented. All in
Question
favor?
here.
Question?
I just need to correct what I had said earlier. The airport fund is an enterprise fund. It is self-supporting. We are funding this with capital reserves that will be paid back over time from the airport fund.
Okay.
Very
Yes.
Okay, ready to vote? All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your work on this. Next item under tab 4 is intergovernmental cooperative purchase 26-0226, a 2026 Ford F-350 extended cab truck.
Randy Kentner, Director of Purchasing.
Dave Mason, Interim Director of Environmental Management.
The next recommendation I have for you is the intergovernmental cooperative purchase, INTG 26-0226. Move to authorize by resolution for the Department of Water Quality to purchase one new 2026 Ford F-350 extended cab truck from Apple Ford of Columbia, Maryland, in the amount of $63,316, and to use another jurisdiction's contract that was awarded by Baltimore County to Apple Ford. We're also seeking approval for a budget adjustment. The budget adjustment includes a transfer of $34,110 to VEH 007 from equipment that was sold on Gov Deals. Additionally, $109 is needed to purchase the truck, which will come from the utility admin CIP reserves. The total increase would be $34,219. The Department of Water Quality is requesting the purchase of the truck to be used for transporting chemicals and equipment to treatment plants and pump stations, and will add another snowplow to the Water Quality Maintenance Department. This truck will replace a 1999 Chevy C6500 box truck with 22,121 miles. This meets the county's replacement guidelines for vehicles less than 19,500 pounds. Gross vehicle weight rating is recommended at 10 years of economic life. The vehicle is being replaced, and as I said, with a truck that's already been sold on Gov Deals. The Code of Public Local Law of Washington County 1 through 106.3 provides that the Board of County Commissioners may procure goods and services through a contract by another government entity as long as we abide by the same terms and conditions of that contract, and we are doing so with this purchase. The county will benefit with a direct cost savings of this purchase because of the economies of scale the contract has leveraged. The attached budget adjustment includes the transfer of the $34,110 and the additional $109 needed to purchase the truck.
Okay, any discussion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, 4-0. Thank you. Next item under tab 5, Purchasing Department, name change to Washington County Office of Procurement.
Good morning, Brandy Kentner, Director of Purchasing. The Purchasing Department name change is being requested today to be that of Washington County Office of Procurement. Move to approve the change of the Purchasing Department name to be Washington County Office of Procurement. Over the past 10 to 15 years, the term purchasing has been updated to procurement to better define the role that the purchasing professional plays within the organization. Procurement is a broad, strategic, long-term process involving identifying needs, sourcing, and contract negotiation to create value. Purchasing is a subset of this, focusing on the tactical, transactional, short-term actions of ordering, receiving, and paying for goods. Changing the department's name provides a clear description of the work that is performed daily within the purchasing office. It is critical for the value of the purchasing department to be seen as an important component in any organization. Public procurement is responsible for ethically sourcing contracts that benefit the public. The profession has transformed, and today the procurement professional is a strategic partner and stewards for maximizing the value of public spend. Staff in the Office of Procurement are important agents of public sector who strategically source suppliers and materials for activities that benefit the public's health and safety in a variety of ways. There is a list attached, and the name Washington County Purchasing Department does not align with this list with a number of Maryland procurement agencies. Therefore, we're requesting that the Board of County Commissioners of Washington County, Maryland, approve the name change for this department to better align Washington County with other organizations across Maryland, promoting consistency and clarity.
Okay. Discussion. Motion?
Motion to approve.
Go ahead.
Motion to approve the name change.
Okay, we have a motion,
Second.
second. Ready to vote? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item under tab 6, bid award PUR 1793, laboratory services for water, wastewater testing for the Department of Water Quality.
Good morning, Karen Bakener, buyer in the Office of Procurement.
Davina Yahtzee, Deputy Director, Water Quality.
The recommendation we have today is bid award PUR 1793. Move to award the bid for the laboratory services for water, wastewater testing for the Department of Water Quality to the responsive bidder, ALS Group USA, doing business as ALS Environmental of Middletown, Pennsylvania, who submitted the lowest annual total bid sum in the amount of $168,057. The scope of services to be provided by the contractor includes pickup, preserve, and transport of samples, which could be water, wastewater, and/or solids, from the Department of Water Quality's laboratory twice per week. All analyses are to be completed and reported within 14 consecutive calendar days after the contractor receives the sample. This contract is for a period of 1 year, with an option by the county to renew for up to 2 additional consecutive one-year periods, tentatively to commence on May 1st, 2026. The quantities stated in the bid document are estimated annual quantities. This is a requirements contract utilized on an as-needed basis with no guarantee of minimum or maximum number of units of services. The bid was advertised on the state's eMaryland Marketplace Advantage website and the county's online bidding site. 19 vendors accessed the bid document online. 4 bids were received on Wednesday, February 11th, 2026, as indicated on the attached bid tabulation matrix, with 3 of those vendors deemed non-responsive. The recommended vendor, ALS Group USA, was the only vendor to submit a responsive bid for all items as requested in the bid document. Funding for these services is available in the Department of Water Quality's operating budget.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, 4-0. Thank you. Next item under tab 7 is FY 2027 personnel requests. Chip Rose, good morning. And Kelsey Mace.
Good morning, Chip Rose, Director of Human Resources.
Kelsey Mace, Chief Financial Officer.
Each year, personnel requests and other personnel adjustments are submitted through the budget process. These requests are reviewed by the Director of Human Resources, your Chief Financial Officer, the county administrator, and a recommendation is provided to the Board of County Commissioners for consideration. This is that recommendation. Personnel adjustments requesting a total of $7,988,770 for fiscal year 2027. You have in front of you the chart that would break that down for you. You'll see the recommendations from the committee total $2,044,550 for personnel requests, $3,512,100 for the salary scale decompression, and $1,716,000 for retiree 1% COLA. Once again, the fiscal impact is $7,272,650. If you have any questions about the chart, happy to answer those. If not, I want to make sure you know what you have in your packet in front of you. I'll pause for just a second.
I just wanted to point out that in this proposal, instead of splitting the cost for a 1% COLA over 3 years, we're proposing to pay for it all up front.
Okay, no questions. The backup, which is a relatively thick document, you have the first 10 pages are the details of that are supporting each one of the recommendations. You can see the recommendation itself, a quick justification for what it is they're recommending and why. The next 2 pages chart the summarized changes to the WCC scale, or salary grid scale. And the final page that you have there is a 1-page summary of the retiree COLAs that we've given over the years. Pause to see if you have any questions.
Okay, so this is informational only at this time. It will be approved once the budget is approved in May as part of the fiscal year 27 budget process.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you. Thank you for the information. Okay, next item under tab 8 is FY27, General Fund Budget, Public Safety, Law Enforcement, and Emergency Services.
Morning, Commissioners. Brian Albert, Sheriff. I think Director Hayes is here somewhere. There he is.
David Hayes, Director of Emergency Services.
I'll go first with our few increases that we have. Our biggest will be in is wages and benefits and patrol, our patrol, which is 614. And that's about $1 million increase, a little less than 6%. And that adds 3 new patrol deputies and a mechanic up at the Fleet Services building. So that was the biggest increase in the sheriff's office. And then also in the detention center, we're increasing, but we're only about 1%, but most of those is wages. We have some people that were tenured that have left, so we're replacing them with less, less salary. So that's the reason that the increase isn't as much as in patrol. And they're our biggest increases.
And I just want to point out that based on the contract that's currently in place for patrol and detention, those employees do receive the same COLA of 1% and step as our WCC scale employees.
Very good. Dave?
Morning. So the division is responsible for 6 different departments. The first budget we'll review is the air unit. The FY27 ask for that is $72,810, or about a 9.52% increase. The bulk of that is in capital outlay. That group is, as most know, elderly, at least at best. They're certainly our senior group. We do not have AEDs on the frontline units. We'd like to add 2 AEDs and then a cart for SCBA cylinders for them to move. And then likewise, we have a module type classroom slated for the building, and that would be the furniture that would go in that part of the building. Special operations is our next budget. The request is $230,700. That's a $27,090 increase, or 13.30. And again, the bulk of that is in request for items that are end of service life, hydrofusion kit for stabilizing, lifting, and supporting unstable vehicle structures. Some of that is to do with the new warehousing structures that are in the building. And then likewise, granular absorbent, our calls to the interstates for fuel spills and oil spills have increased, and we've seen an uptick in use of those products. We do have an offsetting income that comes to that. We instituted hazardous materials billing last year. I don't have the numbers of receivables on that, but it is a reasonable number. The next budget, EMS operations, this represents one of two larger increases. The bulk of that is in wages and benefit. It is a $1.981 million increase, which is representative of the addition of Halfway and Clear Springs employees being included in our baseline salaries for FY27. It also includes a 2.5 step and the 1% COLA. That entire budget has the operating expenses in themselves increase about $205,000. The largest is $77,000 in contracted purchases, which the bulk of that goes to support the volunteer companies. And then we have a capital outlay of $154,960 for defibrillators, video laryngoscopes, 3 AEDs, and 4 ultrasound devices. The largest increase for us is our fire operations budget. That represents about a $1.7 million increase. 1.3 million of that is in salaries. That represents the 9 additional firefighters that you approved late budget that now will be represented in our actual wage categories for fire operations. We do have capital outlay requests. The largest is $474,000 for 70 sets of PPE. That supports the volunteer firefighter PPE program and also the division's replacement gear for our own staff. Public Safety Training Center is a $1.8 million budget. That's about a 52% increase. By far and large, the biggest increase is a requested IT upgrade to the facility in whole. The $400,000 of that is requested to replace outdated, no longer supported AV devices, video switches, and things like that. And then the Volunteer Fire and Rescue Services budget is $12 million. That's about a $19,440 increase, or 0.16. Part of that is reflective and transfers back to the EMS budget when we pulled back the EMS subsidies for Hancock, and we will be pulling back the EMS subsidies for Clear Spring. That money actually comes out of this budget and moves into 11,520, which is EMS services. There's $102,350 requested in capital outlay. That is for pagers for the volunteers, 4 Microsoft Surface Pro laptops, and the mounting hardware, $16,240 for fire police equipment, $1,000 for cooling chairs, and $40,000 for the rehab. $40,000 for 2 used fire police vehicles, and then they're looking for $30,000 for a steel building to house the safety trailer that currently sits outside. And the association I've asked to be here in case they wanted to speak to that, and I would invite the representative forward. But real quick, the total for our budget is $35,403,850. And I'll let the association speak if you want to say
Rick Hemphill, Washington County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association. Thank you very much. Basically, yes, as Dave indicated, we have the G5 pagers, safety helmets. We also made a request. We had attempted to get a cancer screening grant for from the state of Maryland in order to start screening our volunteers that would be more subject to potentially to cancer that is caused by firefighting processes. That grant we're not able to get, so we do not have it. So I did put money in a request to potentially start cancer screening of our volunteers. So that was something new that we put in there. Along with the building is simply someplace to put our safety trailer out of the weather. We would put just a metal building at our facility on Pennsylvania Avenue in order to store it there. Most everything else is relatively straight. Our volunteer low contributions this year, we had 168,908 hours of volunteer duties. 4,630 hours of drills, 114,806 hours of volunteers standing by to run calls. We also responded, let's see here, 9,712 hours of training, and responded to 39,000 calls. And our cafeteria plan, which you so graciously fund, we paid out $161,500 on pay-per-call, which is volunteers who respond to each call. And also our other stipend program was paid out, our stipend program paid out $30,182, and we paid $60,000 in death benefits. So the incentive program's working, and we certainly appreciate, the volunteers appreciate all you do for us.
And I do want to come back and highlight, Rick reminded me, likewise with the volunteer cancer screening in the fire operations, EMS operations budget, we do have allocation requests for cancer screening for the firefighters, and that is a contractually obligated component. As of July 1, we have to have a plan to move forward for that. So, thank you for reminding me.
I know this is information only. Can I ask some questions?
Sure.
First of all, Dave, do you have a cost for that cancer screening, or you do not?
Yeah, I do, yes. So for the career side of things, we're looking at about $53,200, and then for the volunteer component, we are at $120,000
Per year?
per year.
Okay.
Well, so that's going to be the startup side. I can't really give you a per year till we get there because there's a graduated entry into it. It's based on service, years of service, age, and that. That's the approximated number for
So again, that was $53,000 for the career side and
right,
$120,000 for the.
And with the cancer screening, there's 3 results possible. One is, of course, you have cancer and there's an issue. Second one would be that there are markers in your bloodstream that would indicate that you should be screened. You have a potential, but there's nothing there yet, and of course you're clear. So the initial cost is really to get as many people screened as possible to know where they stand, and then those that are still fine would not have to be screened right away. So it wouldn't just necessarily be that much on an annual basis, but that's what we need to get started. Yeah.
And Rick, what was your grant request for?
The grant request was for $150,000.
$150,000, and it was entirely denied?
Yes.
Okay. And Brian, I have one question for you.
Yes.
What is our patrol staffing at right now? How many?
We currently have 2 openings. We are patrol staffing. We're authorized 115 sworn deputies, and we're at 113 currently.
That's the highest we've been in?
Probably ever. Because we've added eight positions, so that's the highest staffing we've had.
Very good.
And, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. Mr. Hemphill, can you apply for that grant every year?
It is well, they have run it the last 2 years. We tried, assuming they offer it next year, we can attempt to apply for it. And you all did write us a letter of support for that grant this year as well.
We'll do it again if that's necessary. Thank you.
And it's a fairly competitive grant in the fact that it's about $480,000 statewide.
Correct.
It's not a lot of money.
In past years, it generally goes to, most of it goes to Anne Arundel, Montgomery, PG, and Howard.
Imagine that.
Yeah. So.
I also wanted to point out that in the budget, there are COLAs for those employees who are covered by the IAFF bargaining unit of 1% and a step of 2.5%, which is the same increases that were provided to employees on the WCC scale. Additionally, we did include $500,000 in general ops in case there is additional need for EMS transition. As you know, we've transitioned Hancock, Smithsburg, Williamsport, and I believe Clear Spring, and halfway to county government operations to ensure that the public safety needs are met in those areas. So there's an additional $500,000 in case there's an additional need.
And the only other thing I didn't mention, in the volunteer component of the program to support the volunteer, general allocation, responder subsidies, we did include a 3% increase in those numbers, and that's been consistent for the last 4 years.
I have one addition that I missed that sticks out. It's a narcotics task force. The budget's kind of small compared to our total budget. It's $787,000. It did increase by 20%. We've added leased vehicles instead of buying those vehicles for the narcotics task force. And we've also added a lab technician to the city lab. So we split the salary with the city for that. So with the increased workload that they have, we thought it was necessary to add that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Next item under tab 9 is FY27 Community Organizational Funding Recommendations.
Good morning, everybody. How are you today?
Good morning. Morning.
Good. Okay, good morning. Yes, I'm here to present the FY27 Community Organization Funding Recommendation. The Community Organization Funding Committee is comprised of 5 members. They are individually appointed by each county commissioner. The committee is charged with reviewing and evaluating annual grant application requests submitted by community-based nonprofit organizations. After the careful review process and a funding workshop, the committee makes funding allocation recommendations to the Board of County Commissioners within the established funding priorities. We do have in your packet, there's a historical comparison, and it provides you with the 6 of the fund service priority areas. Of those 6, of course, the highest we fund out is families and children at 41.2%, and the next highest is domestic violence at 32.2%. This year, the applications were accepted in January. We in the Grant Management Office this year did a workshop for the nonprofit organizations to provide them guidance in the application process, and we had 38 of the organizations attend those workshops. So we had great participation. This year, we also instituted a rubric, a written rubric for our committee members, which was shared with all of the applicants prior to the application process and was used to provide a less subjective scoring opportunity and a little easier for the committee to follow down. And those were completeness of application, need for the service and project in the community, past performance of the organization, the organizational capacity and staffing, the program plan presented, the collaboration partnerships and coordinated services of the organization, and the organization's budget. The committee received 63 funding applications from 58 separate organizations. The total amount of the funding requested this year was $3,058,897.43. The amount of funds that we have available for distribution is $1,300,000. Each member of the committee, the 5 committee members, independently reviewed and scored each of the applications. So each committee member scored 63 applications over a period of 5 weeks. The committee then met as a group and deliberated the funding allocations for each application received, and the recommendations presented today were in accordance with the parameters established by the board. So the fiscal impact would be the expenditure of the $1,300,000 from the FY27 general fund budget. And that would be approved at the time that the budget would be approved. Included with the information I provided is also the list of organizations and the committee recommendations for the funding, the ask, and what the committee recommendations were.
We added an additional 100,000 this year?
We did, we did.
To offset some of the higher costs and needs, correct?
The beauty of that, you cover the additional, if you look at the historical perspective there, we had $100,000 more in asks over last year, and we had $100,000 additional to give out. Just as a quick side note, like for families and children, of the percentage, we had $683,480 available for $1,976,000 worth of asks. So there are a lot of asks, and it is, I would say the committee is incredibly thoughtful and does an amazing job. So the people you picked, I'd like to commend every one of them for 63 applications that they review and score with a scoring rubric.
May I ask,
Yes.
even though the requests weren't fully funded, there's other opportunities for these groups to get extra, other money, other sources, correct?
Many of these organizations also apply for our gaming fund, which that fund cycle comes up here in May or so when we do that. So that's, again, a similar situation with the gaming commissioners. There will be some additional funding opportunities that come out of our office sometime. Like we have a notice of funding availability right now for some funds that came through our office for the Governor's Office of Children for in specific areas and priority areas. So that's out there right now for organizations to apply for.
Thank you.
I want to publicly thank the volunteer committee that worked with you to come up with these numbers. I know they put an incredible amount of time and effort into it. It's pretty much what, the month of January and February, probably a lot of cold, late winter nights of reading and studying and contemplating and compassion, if you will, because all these are worthy projects in our community. And to pare them down.
Very much so. And the staff just provides the information, and the recommendations are all on behalf and come forward from the committee. We just provide them with the data and information that they may ask.
Thank you very much.
We need a motion for.
No motion for this. No
Okay.
You are very welcome. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, next item under tab 10 is jail-based medication assisted treatment program, approval to submit application and accept funding as awarded.
Good morning, Karsten Ahrens, Office of Grant Management.
Good morning, Megan Willis, Director of the Day Reporting Center.
Today we request the County Commission move to approve the submission of application and accept funding as awarded for the jail-based medication assistance treated program. The Washington County Day Reporting Center is requesting approval to submit an application to the Governor's Office for Crime Prevention, requesting $270,000 and to accept any awarded funding. The Washington County Sheriff's Office Day Reporting Center is an alternative to incarceration in Washington County, Maryland. The Day Reporting Center serves individuals sentenced in the Washington County Detention Center through the appropriate diversion, deflection, service provision, and recidivism reduction resources. Funding will be used for parenting groups, family counseling, behavioral health group treatment, financial coaching, drug and alcohol testing, electronic monitoring, a contractual case manager, printing of collateral materials for participants, and community housing and transportation and general participant needs.
Good. Discussion? Questions?
Move to approve.
Second. We have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 4-0, thank you very much. Washington County, under tab 12, Washington County Detention Center Moore Grant.
Karsten Ahrens, Senior Grant Manager for the Office of Grant Management.
Megan Willis, Director of the Day Reporting Center.
We request that the County Commission approve the submission of application and accept funding as awarded for the jail-based medication assistance treatment program. Once again, the Washington County Detention Center is requesting approval to submit an application to the Governor's Office of Crime Prevention, requesting $347,072 in funding for the jail to support the jail-based medication assistance treatment and accept any awarded funding. Funding will help advance the public safety and public health goals by reducing overdose risks, supporting community care, and improving successful community reentry outcomes for justice-involved individuals, and will fund medications, clinical staffing, drug testing supplies, and essential medical and safety items needed to sustain the program operations.
I just want to correct, we're on number 11 right now, not 12, which is jail-based medication-assisted treatment program, approval to submit application and accept funding as awarded for $347,072.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for approval. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 4-0. My apologies. Now we're on tab number 12, Washington County Detention Center, the Moore Grant.
Yes, sir. We request the County Commission move to approve the applying for and receiving of funds not to exceed $369,939 from the Maryland Opioid Overdose Response. This grant will fund the Washington County Sheriff's Office Detention Center Jail-Based Medication Assistance Treatment Program. Funding provided with this project will be used for medications, crushed pill pouches, rapid drug testing devices, and contractual medical staff required to oversee and administer medications.
Okay. Motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you, 4-0. Next item is under tab 13, Police Recruitment and Retention Grant, approval to accept awarded funding.
Carson Arns, Senior Grant Manager, Office of Grant Management.
Good morning, Lieutenant Daniel Mon, Washington County Sheriff's Office.
We request that the County Commission move to approve the application for and acceptance of funds awarded under the FY27 Police Recruitment and Retention Grant Program for the Governor's Office of Crime Prevention, Youth and Victim Services, not to exceed $72,000. The fiscal year 27 Washington County Sheriff's Department Recruitment and Retention Incentive Program seeks to address the long-standing challenges of retaining well-qualified trained officers within our ranks. This program will provide financial incentives to existing full-time sworn personnel who have worked for at least 1 year.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 4-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Last item under open meeting is under tab 14, Area Agency on Aging Advisory Council appointments.
Dawn Marcus, County Clerk. Commissioners, good morning. On behalf of the Area Agency on Aging Advisory Council, I am requesting a motion to accept the recommendation to reappoint Cherie Ware, Dawn Nally, and Kathy Harple to serve a second three-year term from February 1st of 2026 through January 31st of 2029. This is not a paid board.
Move to accept.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 4-0. I'd like to have a motion to go into closed session for the reasons stated.
Motion to go in closed session.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to go into closed session. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 4-0. And let's take a 5-minute recess.